Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Kjwippy, and welcome back to Nerdcraft SMP Season 2. This is Episode 3, and I'm feeling a little bit under the weather. Not so much in real life as I am in-game. As you can see, I'm looking a bit pale and kinda green. Ew. Now, I'm not entirely sure why, because as far as I'm aware, I haven't done anything weird. It's not like I've gone around and touched any weird rocks or anything that have fallen out of the sky at all. Nothing at all. But in other news, we've been working on quite a few things around the server in between episodes. As you can see, a lot of the area around us is being built up. We've got a map of the spawn area now. We've got some shops popping up. We've got Cozy's area over there being built up. You can see that John Doom's area is pretty much popping up even more than we saw before. Mackey's area is starting to build up, and there's even more access to other people's bases over there. I'm very behind, and I don't like that. I don't like how behind I am. So today we're going to be working a lot on the base area in terms of actually organizing things. As I'm sure many of you have noticed, there's a lot of horses down here. And it's a pain in the butt trying to pick the right horse every time I want to go somewhere. So one of the things we're doing today is building a horse stable to be able to keep all these guys in, because I need that. Wow, I'm up close. Hi, how you doing? Now, I've gone ahead and picked out this area up here, and I've marked it out with some path blocks. This is going to be the stable, and right here is going to be the camp cabin. Now, I'm not entirely sure what the design of this is going to look like. I know that I want my main storage to be linked up to this in some way, shape, or form. Not sure how I'm going to do that just yet, but at the very least I am going to be building up the cabin here, and then at some point underneath there will be access to all of my farms. I want to get rid of these crop farms here and expand the path out to fill more of the space. We're going to add camp tents and like barbecues and stuff like that. Your basic, woodland campsite stuff, because that's what I'm going for. So the question is where to start, because I have no idea. It's also important to note that in between episodes, I've done a lot of exploring with some of the fellow nerds, and I've managed to get my hands on, I think, my favorite armor trim in the game, which is the Silence armor trim from the Ancient Cities. Thank you, John Doom, for your help. I appreciate you. Love you, buddy. But I think in terms of starting, I may actually start with the cabin itself, so I can get a rough idea of what the size of the build is going to be, so that way I can attach to the horse stable in its own way. I'm not really sure where those words were going, but we're just gonna roll with it. You'll also notice that there are some beacons around now, and that one right there, that's mine. I own that. You'll find out later in the episode why I needed a beacon, but I desperately needed a beacon. So the cabin is going to probably have a similar build scheme to the Ranger Tower, where it's got the kind of orangish walls, the darker logs with the supports and the roof. And I'm gonna try to throw in some extra spruce around it as well. See if that might... I don't want to use the word spruce it up, but I feel like that's kind of the best way to describe it. I'm so sorry. I shouldn't be hitting you with puns this early in the video. That's my bad. So I think for a good chunk of it, I actually want to have like a solid spruce. Maybe add some texturing with that. I don't really know what I was expecting with this. I haven't built anything else for it to compare it to. So I guess we'll build up the rest of this wall area first, so that way I can actually have an idea of what's going on. This is definitely going to be a build that requires interior decoration, because I don't want it to feel like it's a bland build. So this is gonna mess around a lot with various techniques of armor stand customization and just utilizing different things like that to kind of help me with that. I think that'll be pretty good. I need to have some kind of stone base. I think I'm going to use cobblestone for like a stone base. Maybe have it transition to moss. Bring back that kind of combo there, I think would be pretty good. Okay, so far that's a pretty good layout, right? So now we get our accenting on with the dark oak. All right, I think that stone base looks pretty good. It's very subtle, not really too harsh on the texturing, which is really nice. I think that's perfect. Nice. So now that I've got the basic layout and how tall I want each of these rooms to be, I know that I need this spruce bit to be way taller because I want this to stand out almost like it's an individual tower within the build itself. I want to kind of incorporate that like weird gradient of the logs to planks towards the top as well, almost like there's aging around. Wow, that's whoa. I don't really know how I feel about this chunk, so I'll build up the rest of this and come back to that part just because I don't know what I'm planning to do here. I've officially run out of acacia wood, so now I gotta go get more. Is somebody selling? I could have sworn, yeah, there's a tree shop over there. Let's go spend money. Cherry, mangrove root, mangrove wood, dark oak, crimson, and warped. No acacia. Well, I was gonna spend money, but I can't. So I'm gonna just go harvest a bunch of stuff myself. See, part of me wants to start just making the equivalent of what I did last season with carrot, where I just had a monopoly over every little thing in the shop district, but I don't feel like going through that kind of effort this season. So I'm not going to. Not to mention being rich and powerful with no actual people to be rich and powerful compared to kinda sucked. So at this point, it's just not even worth it for me to try. How are you all the way up there? How? I'm going to name this horse Nimbus because he likes to be up in the clouds away from where anything actually useful is happening. So far, this is looking pretty good. I think it's going the way that I want it so far. So now, I guess we just try getting some of these roofs in and see if it'll still fit. I'm thinking of doing a similar roof style to this, but maybe make it a bit more curved rather than just a solid A-frame like that. So yeah, here we go. This is a pretty simple process, honestly, because it's just a matter of getting all these slabs put in and making sure they're all in the right spot. Filling in any empty spaces there may be in the walls. Like there's this little slot here that I need to make sure that I fill up because I don't want that to be empty. I want it to be nice and full. I do like it having that kind of hook at the end there. It gives it a bit more of a shack kind of feel. Obviously, it is a more structured building than just your typical kind of wooden shack, but I think that kind of gives it a bit more personality. And it also blends into this roof pretty well back here. So it's just a matter of getting these last few roofs put in as well. And I think that's good. Maybe. We'll find out. That definitely looks really good with the extra little bit here hanging down. It almost is like it's guiding your eye up and then, oh, hey, look, there's a roof here too. That's great. I love that. I think that's really awesome. And then we're pretty much just repeating what we did over there, but with this one. I ran out of stairs again. Ah! I really like this. I think the layered roofs here really works to make it feel like it still has a lot of depth, and it kind of gives the illusion of that it almost kind of just goes upward, but inside it's still the same level. The floor level is going to be the exact same in these three rooms, and then inside here it'll be down one, so there'll be stairs that go up to the rest of the building, and I think that works pretty nicely. I just need to figure out where in here I want the way down to get below, so that way we can move all of our farms and all the storage and stuff into its own proper space. But for now, this is pretty solid, and I really like this. So now we're just gonna get some extra details put on here, make it all pretty, and hopefully, and I say hopefully with the most hopefulness that I can hope, I can add some nice little details that give it just an extra bit of life. And I think I have an idea for what I want to do for a couple of them, but for some of them, I really got to do some thinking. All right, we've now got some extra little decorations going around. I think I want to throw in some more of these dark oak buttons on the spruce just to give it a bit more of that weathered look. I feel like it really helps give like those extra like knots that you find in a lot of wooden structures. I think that really fits that pretty well, but I want to add a bit more detail around the back here as well. Get rid of my scaffolding that I conveniently forgot to get rid of, and add a deck here. I think I'm going to have a little deck, and then there's going to be some stairs down towards a path that'll link up here. And I need to get rid of this weird little mound as well, because I don't know why this generated like this. It's cool, kind of, but why? And so I think we are pretty much complete with the structure of this building. I'm really happy with how this thing has turned out. We just need to get the windows and all the interior stuff taken care of, and then figure out also where the heck underneath I'm going to be doing stuff, because as of right now, this is the only basement it has, and it kind of sucks. But right now, we're going to take a break from the cabin itself, and we're going to go on a bit of a adventure. You see, throughout this campsite, I do want to also build some tents, and in order to build the tents, I need wool, which I have literally 0 wool, and I didn't collect a single sheep at all this entire time on the server. So I've got me a trusty pair of shears, and we're just gonna run around the server and snatch as much wool as I can. Excuse me, I would like my fast horse. This is not my fast horse. Hello, little sheep. Don't mind me. Just snatching some of your lovely, lovely goats. Now eat. Eat the grass so you can regain your fur. Fur? Is wool fur? Is wool fur? A couple hours later, and I've managed to get myself enough wool to make 5 different tents. So I'm thinking we'll probably have one right here. Definitely having one right here. Oh, I'd like to see if I can try to fit one right there. Definitely one right here. I'm actually going to scooch this one to this side and then put another one right here. So we have 2 there, 1 there, 1. Didn't I put one over there? I think I just want to put one over there. Oh, right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Perfect. So we're going with this more structured A-frame type because I want it to feel like it's a more permanent structure. It's not just like a temporary, wimpy little tent that you put up for like a day and then you never do anything with it again. So that's 1 tent made, and I think that looks pretty good. Yeah. So now I just gotta make 4 more, and I don't think that's gonna fit there. Yeah, it's not gonna fit there. So we're gonna do this somewhere else, probably over here in this empty space, because I think that gives us a bit more room to play. So we'll do that instead. That is way too many. That is way too many signs. Wow, that was great. I just went AFK for 5 minutes to go to the bathroom, and I died, I guess, and I can't find my stuff anywhere. That's just wonderful. Can I just give a shout out to Noob Banshee real quick? Man had literally everything that I could possibly need for my armor and tools and stuff, and he's given me a lot of extra stuff, and you haven't seen my ender chest yet, but it's just full of books. I really appreciate you, Banshee. Thank you! You know, it took me so long to get my stuff back that Cozy was able to make this really beautiful bridge long before I was even done. Also, I'm purple now. Hi! Look at me. This is such a weird color combo. I don't like this at all. I need to get netherite soon. Or I just need to stop being green. I don't know why that's not my priority. But with extra delays and all that junk out of the way, we now have all of our tents built up in the campsite area, and I am honestly loving this. This is seriously such a beautiful area now. I'm so glad that I've managed to get the area kind of cleaned up, make it look pretty. I still need to get the stable built, but that may wait till next episode because I don't really feel like working on that right now. But as it currently stands, the cabin exterior is done and the tents are all completed. The campsite here is almost done. There is one last thing that I need to do, and well, I guess we'll see what it is in just a second here. Here we are. We finally got our campfire all set up, and I've gone ahead with the armor poser mod, and I've made some little marshmallows on a stick. I think these are super cute. I really, really like these. Just a stick and a block of quartz. Nothing super fancy, but I love it so much. It's so atmospheric. It really does just add to that extra little bit there of the atmosphere of the area, and I think with that, this area is pretty much complete. Now, I know that you've seen these and you're probably like, oh my god, what's with all these chests out of the front of the camper? It looks terrible. Well, this is all of the stock for my first shop on the series, and this is going to be for my rock shop. I'm going to sell a bunch of rocks. And it's going to be built up probably around that wall there. I'm going to have a building that sticks out from it and then goes in almost to like a makeshift mine. If you've ever been to places like Disneyland or whatever, you'll notice that there's a lot of like themed attractions, or like a lot of the queue lines go from a building to some kind of like cave thing, notably with things like the Indiana Jones ride, or stuff like the Rise of the Resistance and Star Wars Land, things like that, where it kind of filters from a structured building to a more cavernous room. That's going to be what we kind of go with for the style of that build. But I also want to incorporate some fun little details in there as well. If you've ever been to any kind of attraction place somewhere in there is a form of rock, like novelty rock bin, where you can pick out really pretty rocks and put them in a pouch and spend an absurd amount of money on it, right? I want to do something similar to that, to incorporate different block palettes of stones. So maybe someone wants like a mossy kind of palette. So I'll have a bundle which has things like mossy cobblestone, tough stone, things like that. So that way it's got a random amount of each block in there, and it'll still be like a fun little thing. You can like sift through the rocks, quote unquote. I did air quotes, but you couldn't see me do that because I don't have my camera on. I don't have any of my lights on either, but But the bins themselves will have various armor stands and invisible item frames and stuff on top of the raw ore blocks, so that way it looks like it's just a pile of rocks. I'm really excited to get started on this, and because I've done so much building already in this episode, I mean, shoot, I've done the entirety of the cabin, I've done all the tents, I've prettied up this area here. I still need to get the interior of this room done, but that's a later project for now. But right now, I want to get a shop built up because a lot of people are looking for stones, and I am looking for money. So we're going to do this in the form of a third-person time-lapse. I'm going to get the resources to build it up. It's going to be a similar block palette to the rest of my base over here, so that way it kind of fits in with the aesthetic of this more kind of woodland area. But without further ado, we are going to begin. So here we go. So we have Rocks Novelties now open for business. I'm super excited to see how this goes. I went to bed, so I'm curious if anybody's actually like bought anything yet, but I've been super excited to get this thing finished up. I had a great time designing all the extra little bits in here. Like we got the assembly team freaking out because there's an overflow back there. I love that so much. It's so funny. We've got all kinds of stock. Jeez, okay. Oh my god. Wow. Dude, this has been open for literally less than 24 hours, and I'm already almost at a stack of diamonds. Dude, Alright, well, time to get restocking, I guess. But that is going to do it for this episode of Nerdcraft SMP Season 2. So I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, please consider leaving a like, and if you really enjoyed, consider subscribing, because it's free, and it helps my channel grow, and it makes me feel all warm and fuzzy inside. Don't you want to do that for me? Don't you want to make me feel warm and fuzzy inside? Come on. But as always, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. I hope you all stay safe. I love you all, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!